Padmaja, what's happening inside the assembly right now? Are we on schedule for that floor test? The assembly is going to be reconvened any moment now. What next?
Absolutely, and that really was the effort. Some of them even flashing victory signs, okay? But right now the effort was to get anyone who's caused disruption since the morning out of the way. Congress MLAs were not allowed back inside is what we are learning. The DMK MLAs, one by one, the marshals were brought in shifts. One by one, DMK MLAs, some of them who in fact had positioned themselves on the speaker's chair, they were picked up, moved out of the assembly, then they went and sat on gate number 4 on Dharna. And MK Stalin, in fact, in a while also joined them there on Dharna. Again, physically, each one of them was picked up, and I again want to just focus the viewers' attention to these pictures, exclusive and first right here on India Today, accessed by our team inside, Pramod Madhav, sending us these exclusive pictures that we are getting of our first interaction of MLAs of the DMK claiming they were the ones who were roughed up, and it was all pre-planned is what they say. MK Stalin also, he has been accused, the DMK has been accused by the speaker of manhandling him. Remember,
yes.
Very upset speaker had told Pramod Madhav earlier that who do I go and tell my troubles to? My shirt was torn. Stalin in fact says he tore the shirt himself.
He says he tore the shirt himself. Okay, the speaker speaking, let's listen in.
நீங்கள் சொல்லுவதை எல்லாம் கேட்டு நான் அப்படியே நடக்க வேண்டும் என்று நீங்கள் எதிர்பார்த்தால் தவறு. நான் இந்த சபையை நடத்துகிற போது
I have a duty to do, and I will continue to do my duty as the Speaker of the Tamil Nadu Assembly, despite the very concerning scenes that we have seen take place today. Many things have been said, allegations have been made against me as well, but my constitutional job as the Speaker must be done. The show in the Assembly must go on. The floor test that was planned today has to continue. That's the message. That's the basic message that's coming out from Dhanapal, the Speaker of the Tamil Nadu Assembly, who's speaking right now. Let's listen into his extended message right now.
என்னுடைய வேண்டுகோளை வைக்க கடமைப்பட்டிருக்கிறேன்.
It was Dhanapal, the speaker there. Now the assembly in Tamil Nadu has been reconvened. We're going to have to see now whether those ugly scenes continue.
அனைவரையும் வெளியேற்றும்படி உத்தரவிடுகிறேன். வெளியேற்றும்படி உத்தரவிடுகிறேன். வெளியேற்றும்படி உத்தரவிடுகிறேன். அனைவரையும் வெளியேற்றும்படி உத்தரவிடுகிறேன்.
The pictures from inside the Tamil Nadu Assembly as we beam live from inside the Tamil Nadu Assembly in a short while from now. We're going to get you the latest proceedings. These are pictures of the chaos from a short while ago before the House was adjourned by the Speaker. The Speaker, remember, was manhandled visibly on camera by DMK MLAs. But you've got MK Stalin and others from the DMK now saying that this is a Speaker who has torn his own shirt just to blame the DMK MLAs and get them thrown out of the Assembly. As India Today's Padmaja was just noting, the DMK MLAs who've been evicted from the House are on their way possibly to Raj Bhavan to drag Governor Vidyasagar Rao back into this political potboiler that's getting uglier with each passing minute. The epicenter of this eruption, of course, as you see on your screens right now, is the Tamil Nadu Assembly. The Speaker has now reconvened the House and said it is my duty to conduct a floor test, and despite what has been happening, we will continue to do our job. Dhanapal, the Speaker, will he be able to conduct that floor test? Padmaja Joshi and Ashish, my colleague, also with me from outside the Tamil Nadu Assembly. Ashish, you've spent so much time with many of the MLAs who are currently inside the Assembly at this point of time. What are you hearing from your sources about what's going on? The ugliest scenes, Ashish, playing out inside the Assembly at this time.
Of course, Shiv, it's unprecedented situation here. Earlier, the MLAs were captive, allegedly captive inside the Golden Bay Resort for 9 days, over 9 days. Now they are inside this assembly hall. We are outside the assembly hall, and the entire assembly saw unprecedented situation today. Chaos, sloganeering, hangama, smashing up tables and chairs, damaging chairs, assault on a speaker, and now assault on the principal opposition leader, DMK president Stalin, MK Stalin.
Yes.
So it's all situation is very tense, and we can say we never saw this kind of situation in Tamil Nadu. We were covering from Tamil Nadu for many months.
Yes.
And now this assembly today we were expecting floor test, but now it has completely turned into a war zone, a complete war zone here at assembly. Shiv.
Absolutely. The speaker, Padmaja, has now said, even though I was manhandled and my shirt was torn, I have reconvened the house and it will function only according to the rules. The speaker, Dhanapal, of the Tamil Nadu Assembly, they're saying that the floor test will continue to take place. Those pictures that we have, I'd like to get those pictures back up on our screens right now of Stalin with his torn shirt. Those images are first and exclusive here on India Today. He's also given us a bite. He says he was manhandled and that the speaker tore his own shirt. This is an enormous political flashpoint now between MK Stalin, the principal opposition leader, and the speaker of the House. Let's just listen in. We've got a DMK MLA reaction.
தளபதி மீடியா நான் பார்க்க முடியாது. தளபதி பார்த்துருக்கேன் சார். அவங்க கட்சி சொல்லு சார். சட்டத்துக்கு புறம்பா கவர்னர் கொண்டு வந்திருக்கிற நம்பிக்கை தீர்மானம் சொல்லிட்டு கவர்னருடைய தீர்மானம்ங்கிற பேர்ல கொண்டு வந்துட்டு இங்க வந்து நாங்க என்ன கேட்டோம்னா 15 நாள் டைம் இருக்கு. 2 நாள்ல நீங்க ஏன் கொண்டு வரீங்க? அந்தந்த எம்எல்ஏக்களை ஊருக்கு அனுப்பிச்சு ஊர் நிலவரத்தை தெரிஞ்சுக்கிட்டு அடுத்த வாரம் சனிக்கிழமை இதே மாதிரி கூட்டம் கூட்டுங்க. எல்லாரும் இதே மாதிரி ஓட்டெடுப்பு நடத்துங்க. இல்லையா இன்னைக்கே ஓட்டெடுப்பு வைக்கணும் நீங்க விரும்புனீங்கன்னா ரகசியமா ஓட்டெடுப்பு வைங்க, ஓப்பனா வைக்காதீங்கன்னு 2 கோரிக்கைகள் ஏதாவது ஒன்று எடுத்துங்கன்னா எடுத்துக்கவே மாட்டேன்ட்டாரு. 1 மணிக்கு இது மாதிரி நடந்தது. 3 மணிக்கு இப்போ கூட்டம்னாரு. சரி நாங்கள் அவையிலேயே உட்காந்து இருந்தோம். 3 மணிக்கு முன்னாடி காவல்துறை விட்டு ஒவ்வொருத்தரையும் அடித்து வெளியேற்றிட்டு இப்போ சபை நடக்குது. ஜனநாயகத்தை தூக்கி வெளியே போட்டுட்டு சபை நடத்துகிறாங்க. எங்கள் தலைவர்லாம் கவர்னர் பார்க்க கிட்டத்தட்ட தளபதி எதிர்கட்சி தலைவருக்கே காயம், நிறைய ஒரு 10-15 எம்எல்ஏக்களுக்கு காயம் ஏற்பட்டிருக்கு. மருத்துவமனைக்கு ஒருத்தர் தூக்கிட்டு போயிருக்காங்க, எழும்பூர் எம்எல்ஏ ரவிச்சந்திரனை. இப்படி ஏகப்பட்ட பேருக்கு காயம்.
Of the DMK basically stating what Stalin also said before. Take a look at those pictures. The person there with the India Today mic, reaching first to MK Stalin is India Today's Ashish, a terrific reporter who's been at the front line of this story and getting us the very latest. He's been there for over a month now in Chennai, bringing you the very latest. The first to get MK Stalin's images with that torn shirt and also to get his voice for you first here on air. MK Stalin, his MLAs, Anbaragan, speaking first as always to India Today, saying that this is a mockery of democracy and democracy has been damaged and that the speaker has manipulated the House. As we speak, Padmaja Joshi back with us. Padmaja, dramatic, amazing images on India Today. I mean, I'm looking at screens of other channels. Nobody has anything close to the kind of images that we have, which is terrific for this live coverage. But as we speak, Padmaja, the counting, the votes have apparently begun according to ANI. The vote of confidence has begun inside the Tamil Nadu Assembly according to ANI. What's the information you're getting, Padmaja?
That's right. And in fact, Pramod Madhav, who is right inside, checking out the feed. From there, he says the floor test is now going ahead without the opposition, without the DMK being present, and the MLAs will be told to stand and say yes, no, or abstain, and that's how they will be casting their vote. So there is block 1 where the voting started, and there Semmalai and Nataraj. Semmalai is the veteran MLA of the AIADMK who just today was appointed the party whip of the AIADMK by the OPS camp. He is in the OPS camp, and Nataraj also, of course, in the OPS camp, former Commissioner of Police of Chennai, someone who had listened to his conscience yesterday and had crossed over. So they have voted against. And this is the latest that we're hearing right now. And if I can just again go back to those pictures first on India Today, we also have M.A. Subramaniam of the DMK, who is the MLA of Saidapet, speaking to us, and he said that this is a murder of democracy. Again, the same thing being reiterated. Let me again show you those pictures that India Today's team has sent us from inside. I don't think anyone else has managed to get these. And another one, just a second, if our viewers could just bear with us for a second. This is the only picture available right now with any media house of Stalin just seconds, Shiv, before he left for the Raj Bhavan. Look at him there. His clothes completely askew. My colleague Ashish was right there, asked him, sir, what happened inside the assembly? What are you going to do now? He left in a huff, not saying a word, and in fact has just spoken a few words to Pramod Madhav and Akshita. We'll be playing out that for you in just a while, but they're well on their way to Raj Bhavan even as we speak. Back to you.
Stay with me for a second. I want to come back to you again, Padmaja, because I want to put that image right on air. I want to alert all of our producers, get those pictures from Padmaja. Let's get them into a visual loop so our viewers can look at it, much more closely. I want those on air in the next minute or so. Padmaja, show us those pictures again. Let's show our viewers once again just how deep we're in on this story. Those first images. Let's get back. Let's put Padmaja back on that live frame. Padmaja, show us your phone. Let's put that picture out. Nobody else has the two images you're looking at on screen right now. There you have it. You've got Stalin with his shirt off and Padmaja with her phone. Take a look at that image. That's how deep we are in on this story. Nobody else has that image. That's inside the assembly. We've got that image first here on India Today. There is Stalin making some kind of a phone call. We don't know who to. Maybe the police, maybe to someone else. His shirt is torn. He's surrounded by those MLAs. Dramatic images from inside. Those are still images. Now let's shift to those video images. Once again only on India Today of Stalin emerging from inside. And there, his shirt open. India Today's Ashish reaches in for the first time. We're reaching a situation where the vote of confidence is taking place inside the assembly right now without the principal opposition party. Padmaja, stay with me. I want to bring in the Hindu's senior deputy editor, Narayan Lakshman. Narayan, thanks for staying with India Today. Dramatic day for Tamil Nadu. It appears to be this political, blockbuster getting more intense, getting more ugly. And now you've got this vote of confidence, that's going ahead, Narayan, without the principal opposition, the DMK. In many ways, Narayan, this was inevitable.
Absolutely, Shiv. Firstly, great to see you here again, and thanks for having me. And definitely, there is a sense of political drama gripping the assembly today. I mean, a lot of people expected it, but nobody expected this level of violence, this level of drama, shirts being ripped, mics being smashed, and then apparently a cavalcade of Mr. Stalin now zipping across the city to Raj Bhavan to take things forward to Mr. Governor Rao, and then, into the unknown, as they say. So at the same time, as you rightly pointed out, what we're hearing too is that the vote is proceeding or set to proceed. So what we're witnessing is a remarkable moment of drama and action, but yet somehow through it all, the constitutional duty of the constitutionally laid out procedure and the duty of the speaker under these circumstances is being followed somehow. So we will have to then see whether it gains, whatever happens, the outcome has legitimacy or not, and then what further outside forces from Raj Bhavan or elsewhere, maybe the courts, comes to bear on that outcome.
It's very interesting what you mentioned, Narayan. Is this what the DMK finally wanted? This kind of a chaos They were courting trouble. Obviously, they knew that, this is going to be one of the possible outcomes. Ugly scenes of this kind have been witnessed before. We should tell our viewers inside the Tamil Nadu Assembly and several other assemblies in the state as well. But what is the DMK's overall game plan? Going to the courts, perhaps a period of president's rule in Tamil Nadu. What is it, Narayan?
Shiv, I think that what the indications here on the ground are suggesting to us is that it's all about moving first towards a state of suspension of the House, which is the first step that the governor could take when there is a breakdown of constitutional machinery, and that is an all-important caveat. And from that, when you have President's Rule, Article 356 being imposed firmly, and the certain time frame has passed wherein various parties or groups are given the opportunity to form a government, and let's say hypothetically they fail to do so,
yes,
then you will have this call for elections. And if you look at the broader picture, Shiv, obviously the DMK with 89 seats in the assembly was sitting in opposition, sort of could not stand up to the onslaught of Amma last May, which an election that she won freely and fairly. And since then, however, with the dramatic twist and what some are calling the implosion within the AIA-DMK, have seen that the iron is hot, have seen that there could be a marriage of convenience perhaps with a breakaway faction of the ADMK, or to at least play along with that drama to allow the implosion to continue further. And so I think between President's Rule, the possibility of elections, those are looking very likely. Let's not rule out that third and constitutionally correct option, which is the possibility of a division ballot being held by the Speaker and an actual chance to hold this floor test.
Actually, the floor test, right? As we speak, Narayan, the vote of confidence is on inside the assembly. The DMK has been evicted. So now it's very interesting because you mentioned the implosion of the DMK, implosion of the AIA-DMK, I beg your pardon, is heightening with each passing hour. At this point, the focus, the spotlight, the defining image of what's going on inside the Tamil Nadu Assembly is the image, ladies and gentlemen, that you've got on your screen right now. It's an incredible image. In Indian politics, we're used to spectacle, we're used to tamasha, we're used to potboilers in any state of your choice. But here in Tamil Nadu, this is a special flavor of potboiler. Take a look at Stalin, his shirt open. It holds a lot of special significance. There's a huge amount of cinema in that body language. He holds his shirt as he comes out to make sure it's open for the cameras. He waves at the cameras. He does a vanakam, and then you've got the cameras literally, crowding around him. Of course, I'd like to point out once again that India Today's Ashish is the first man on the scene to get to Stalin. But these images, unforgettable at this point. I want to bring Padmaja back in. Padmaja, what we're looking at right now is the assembly conducting that vote of confidence without the DMK. But this is going to leave things in a very precarious state. Given that the DMK is not there, there could be the legal, something legal could happen later. There could be a very razor-thin margin on which, either side could, enjoy whatever majority, though the O Pannirselvam side, looks to be at a still great arithmetic disadvantage. What are you hearing, Padmaja?
That's right. In fact, the latest that we are hearing from inside the assembly is that O Pannirselvam, big surprise, Shan Mugunathan,
yes,
pardon me, Mafoy Pandeyarajan and Chinraj have all voted against E. Palanisamy. The governor was supposed to leave for Mumbai, Shiv, but now he has also cancelled his trip. He was supposed to leave at 4 in the afternoon.
Yes.
MK Stalin, meanwhile, has reached the governor. These are real-time updates that we are getting to you. The voting, even as we speak, has reached Block 3 within the assembly.
Amazing updates there. Those three leaders that you just read out, O Pannirselvam, of course, Shanmuganathan and Mafoy Pandeyarajan and Chinraj have voted against E. Palanisamy. That was expected. Okay, we've got some live images from MK Stalin's cavalcade, I understand. Let's see if he's going to speak. Let's tune in. Okay, no, he hasn't. He's had his say. MK Stalin has had his say to India Today. We'll play out that soundbite in just a bit. But as we bring these live images in, I want to bring in Satyam Sundararajan, former Joint Secretary of the AIA-DMK. Mr. Sundararajan, vote of confidence taking place in the House right now. The DMK is out. Many things being said about the OPS camp and its, rendezvous with the DMK. They appear to be on the same side. But this is a shameful day, sir.
Certainly, I put it this way: as you sow, so you reap. So this is something which is not new to DMK and their faction of people. But having said that, we are talking about somebody's shirt getting stripped, the opposition leader. But what we are more worried about, the rights, the dreams, the hopes of thousands and crores of Tamil Nadu people being stripped down at this juncture. We started this fight in a democratic way. We continue to fight in a democratic way. But what we are witnessing is a shameful act of events being conducted by the opposition faction of people. God knows for what reason they are trying to do this.
All right, we've got breaking news now. The Chief Minister has won the trust vote. 122 MLAs have voted in favor of Edappadi Palaniswamy. Let's go straight across to Padmaja. Padmaja, the big breaking news first here on India Today. The Chief Minister prevails.
That's right. 122 MLAs is what he has got. E. Palaniswamy, we can tell you for sure. The confirmation coming from inside. He has won the trust vote. You heard it first right here on India Today. All of these people, the only ones to have voted against E. Palaniswamy, which is Shan Muganathan, O. Panneerselvam, Mafoi Pandirajan and Chinraj, the 6 blocks where the 6 blocks in the assembly where the voting was taking place. Also, Arakutti, Manohar, Manikam and Sarvanan had voted against Panneerselvam as well. So in Block 1, everyone was in EPS's favor. In Block 2, we had 4 MLAs who voted against. And in Block 6, we had again 4 MLAs who voted against. So all in all, we had 8 votes against. And we have 122 votes going in favor. Remember, it was made very clear that 118 votes have to go in E. Palaniswamy's favor. Lot of drama. It was supposed to happen at 11. It's eventually happening at 3:30 in the afternoon. But by the skin of his teeth, he's managed to scrape through.
All right, by the skin of his teeth, he's managed to scrape through. I want to bring Satyam Sundararajan back in. Mrs. Sundararajan, apologize for interrupting you there, but by the skin of his teeth, Palaniswamy has prevailed. 122 MLAs have voted for him. Your first reaction?
No, he's already been made as the captain of the sinking ship. So he hardly scraped through this day today. But the mandate has already gone to the common public. The people of Tamil Nadu is watching what's happening, what's not happening. There is a petition pending against the Election Commission regarding the elevation of Sasikala as the temporary General Secretary.
Yes.
So there is still a long way to go. And we have upped our ant and we are up against whatever moves that is happening here. We have worked this permutation and combination. It's not that we have not thought about this scenario. We have thought about this scenario very well and we have charted the clear path which we have to move forward.
No, but what is the OPS camp going to do next, Satyam? What is the OPS camp going to do next?
Bring back the golden rule of Amma. We will definitely go to the public now. It's already been charted down. The OPS Anna has got a clear roadmap of what and all areas he needs to visit, what and all kind of events that we should conduct to ensure that the public voice is echoed once again. And this hardly the number of 122 is a momentous victory for them, but might not stay for a long period of time.
Okay, so you're
for
saying...
example, if I want to give you, when Anna started this protest in Feb 17, till date there are about 52 lakh people who had called us and extended their support.
Okay.
Through their toll-free number which we have flashed.
Padmaja, you just heard it from Satyam Sundararajan. It's a direct warning to the E. Palaniswamy administration from the OPS camp. Satyam Sundararajan, who is in the OPS camp, says, be warned, you are on notice. Don't enjoy what you have won today. This is a razor-thin margin. It was won, based on many extraneous factors. This is not the will of the people, and therefore you will feel the wrath of the people very, very soon. He's also said that OPS has a clear roadmap on how he's going to convince the assembly and convince the people of Tamil Nadu that E. Palaniswamy, who he calls a remote control of Sasikala, should not be the chief minister. Padmaja, this means there could be more chaos. This is not the end. Some would think, watching our coverage, trust vote ho gaya, the story is over, dukan band, everyone can go home. But this could be the beginning of something even larger in Tamil Nadu, Padmaja.
And in fact, the first indication was given yesterday when we were speaking to people within the OPS camp, and they said that if the MLAs do not heed the voice of their conscience, they're going to see the kind of turnout, public sentiment shift that they saw during Jallikat. And if that isn't indication enough, then what is? Basically, they had positioned this as a war of dharma. They called it Dharma Yudh, a war of the Amma team versus the Chinnamma team. In fact, speaking to us yesterday on the eve of the voting, Mapoy Pandeyarajan had said there are just two teams here. They are proxies for Chinnamma. We are Team Amma. All of those people who go to the Amma memorial, if you are going to betray her memory, the people are not going to forgive you. And that is the message now they're going to take out on the streets as well. Across all constituencies, we are learning they are going to be mobilizing support for O. Selvam and drum up the opinion against E. Palanisamy, always harping on the theme that these people are proxies. Do you want AIDMK and the state to go into the stranglehold, the grip of the Manargudi family, which does any goodwill in the state? In fact, that's an understatement. Shiv.
That's an understatement, Narayan. 122 MLAs for Palaniswamy. They've been put on notice by the OPS camp right now. Wafer thin margin by from any vista. If you look at this right now, what do you think is going to happen next? What is this roadmap? You think, Narayan? You've got OPS saying we know what to do right now. They've been put on notice. The will of the people, will be heard. Political rhetoric at one level, but does OPS have a conceivable next step politically, legally, etc.? Narayan?
Shiv, I think the obvious legal step or quasi-legal step that is available is one that has been taken already with the Election Commission, looking specifically into the rules under which Chinnamma, as they call her, was elected General Secretary of the party, and whether, if that is found not to be valid, what further decisions does that invalidate, and thereby can that alone pull the rug out from under the feet of the government. Now, my own personal view is that there is theoretically a possibility, but in actual fact, it may be quite hard to prove, particularly because it will also rest upon the Election Commission.
Narayan, just stay with me for a moment. Apologies for interrupting you. PMK Chief Anbumani Ramadas, and former Union Minister, is with us on the phone line. Mr. Ramadas, your first reactions to what we've just seen in the Tamil Nadu Assembly, sir?
See, Tamil Nadu is going through its lowest democratic ebb and unprecedented scenes in the Assembly today. It is very, very unfortunate. It is shameful. And we see that the so-called MLAs, elected MLAs, acting as hooligans. I mean, it's really very, very unforeseen and unfortunate. And all the people here in Tamil Nadu are very, very upset of the happenings out there.
What do you think? What do you think, Mr. Ramadas, should happen next? The OPS camp has basically said that they will go to the people. There will be a revolution. There will be protests, in Tamil Nadu on the lines of the Jallikattu protest. What do you think should happen, sir?
The OPS camp is, I think, another couple of weeks. There's nothing. It's just going to disappear like that. Nothing. Going to see nothing much like. But again, I'd like to go back on the DMK's conduction today. Completely, it is really they have planned this violence ahead of this assembly, and Mr. Stalin and his team completely whatever they have planned now, they have enacted their planning of violence and stopping of this. But then they should have been there. They should have been there when the vote was taking place. So without DMK, without anybody down, the vote has taken place, and Palaniswamy has won the confidence. And legally it is tenable, but then you take it at the personal level. I mean, absolutely, he is not fit to be a chief minister. And like you say, a Binami government, a Binami chief minister, all these things people are saying this. Plus, the speaker should have gone for a secret ballot. Accept a secret ballot. What is wrong with that? I don't see any wrong on that. So all these drama by both DMK and ADMK, and people are upset here. So what next is, now we leave it to the governor. And the governor must be prudent enough to take a decision and see the legality of what goes on, and both ways, and take the whatever the recordings of the assembly. I'm sure they must have the video recording of the assembly, what's happening.
So, Mr. Ramadas, to get you straight, you're saying that the proceedings today in the assembly, may not stand legal scrutiny because they've been contaminated by the manner in which things were conducted?
No, I don't see it that way. See, all the speaker needs is support of about 118 MLAs. And Palanichami has got 122 MLAs. And I'm sure they have recorded the video recording of that, and they have showed to the governor or any legality in that. Like, I don't see any legally. I don't see any problem in this. Like, but then as a morally, there's absolutely chaos, and it shouldn't have happened this way. The speaker should have allowed for a secret ballot, and then, but the DMK had no intention of having a quiet assembly today. Like, they were just completely pre-planned. See, this issue was between Palanichami and Paneerselvam. That's the basic issue between both. But then where was the DMK suddenly coming into this place? So we had a problem between Palanichami and Paneerselvam. Who's going to show their strength? That's all. That's a question mark in the morning today. But then again we saw the drama, like Stalin, he's coming out without his shirt, without his buttons, and all these dramas, like completely these are all drama enacted, and they somehow want dismissal of the government, and then the DMK wants an election, and they think that immediate election comes that they could win and all these things, right? Which is absolutely not to be. People are completely now upset with both these parties, both the dramas connected by both these parties, right?
Anbumani Ramadas, thank you so much for speaking to India today. That first reaction from prominent politicians in Tamil Nadu on what has been a day of infamy for democracy in Tamil Nadu. A vote of confidence has taken place. The incumbent Chief Minister, Edappadi Palaniswamy, has prevailed with 122 MLAs in his favour. 11 MLAs opposed the vote of confidence. O. Paneerselvam has just left from the Tamil Nadu Assembly. I want to bring Padmaja back in right now. Padmaja, what happens next? We understand that MK Stalin, we're going to play out his soundbite to India Today's Ashish, an exclusive soundbite again in just a couple of minutes from now. But I just want to understand from you, Padmaja, because you're plugged into all of your sources right now. What happens next? The DMK is reaching out to the governor. We understand the governor has cancelled his trip to Mumbai, so he plans to stay in Chennai, at least for the moment. So are we expecting to see the governor get involved in some way as well?
Well, even as we speak, the DMK has started Dharna number 2 of the day. In fact, we can call it protest number 3, because in the morning they were upset because Stalin's car had been stopped. So they marched into Secretariat. Right at the outset, the protest had begun. They marched into the Secretariat upset that Stalin's car had been searched. Dharna number 2, of course, happened inside the assembly when they were being evicted one by one. They called it the murder of democracy. And now, even as we speak, Governor Vidyasagar Rao has cancelled his appointment, cancelled his flight at 4 p.m., has stayed back, and Stalin and company has started Dharna number 3, which is outside the Raj Bhavan. So they are going to build up pressure on the government, asking for his intervention. However, it's best left to constitutional experts to tell us if the governor can make any intervention at all. Basically, the DMK's contention is, how can you have a trust vote with no opposition inside the assembly? Because the major opposition, which is 89 MLAs of the DMK, 88 barring Karunanidhi, who because of his health was not to appear, all the DMK MLAs were evicted. So essentially you only had the AIADMK present and voting inside, and of course just this one camp of the OPS camp which was voting against. So they call the entire process completely farcical. As far as O. Paneerselvam is concerned, he also just left a while ago, just about 3 seconds before you came to me, and we know from his camp that now they are going to start a major mobilization, something along the lines of what happened during Jallicut. Interesting aside, yesterday, Shiv, we had a boy who had been at Marina Beach come to OPS's residence just about 12 hours before the trust vote was to happen, and he said that it's only because of OPS's efforts, the Jallicut Nayak, he called him, that Jallicut could be practiced again in Tamil Nadu. So drumming up that sentiment as well, they are going to take this across Tamil Nadu.
I don't want to be facetious at this, this point of time, and bring humor into what is, definitely not a humorous day as far as Tamil Nadu is concerned. But Padmaja, very quickly, are either Palaniswamy's camp or OPS camp, are they heading to the Jaya Samadhi today again? Because we've seen that be the go-to place for Sasikala, for O. Paneerselvam all of these days. That's the place they go to when, things are adverse against them. So, if I understand things correctly, one of these guys is going to be heading to the Jaya Samadhi today.
We're hearing that E. Palaniswamy is in fact likely to be headed to Marina soon after the trust vote. We've had the DMK and OPS leave. Now maybe we'll have the Palaniswamy camp actually going to Marina. Shiv.
Okay, so they're going to go to Marina. The scene has also shifted. The action, like you said.